All right, what's up, hustlers? So we're gonna try this again for the third time. All right. Today, what we're gonna discuss is how do you know what you want to automate in the process of your business, right? It's so much going on.
Can I come?
No, I'm filming a video, so go back in, and then I'll come out and get you in a second. Don't come back. All right. So hopefully that don't mess us up too much. All right. I feel like she just locked the door. But anyway, so I got a corporate client right now, and we are working on a process of turning the 70,000 people that we've initially targeted for attention to 10,000 people who visit the website, to 120 plus quotes that came in, quote requests. And so my job, my initial job, and what I actually started all this for was marketing, right? However, marketing and sales goes hand in hand. The better I market, the easier it should be on the sales job. But originally I had to do a lot of product kind of recalibration and development. Then we went out based on the opportunity that we had to put on a campaign. We jumped out and put on a campaign. The campaign is for the highest level of our equipment. So what that ends up doing for us is it makes it, it turns into a sales process that we don't have people for. So I'm going to break down what the business looks like overall. And then I'm going to show you what happened once once I put a quote in and we got a response from the administrative assistant that works inside the company, what we are next going to end up automating. My board is a little wet because it's been rainy, but hopefully this works out well. So we have, not going to work out well. Let me get a towel or something. Just get this little rag right here. Good thing the laundry room right there, close. See if I can dry this thing up a little bit. Yeah. All right. So theoretically, and not theoretically, we have 4 levels. Oh, come on. Don't do this to me. Yeah, this don't look like it's promising. Give me a second. Can't. It's wet out. So much moisture outside. Can't write on the whiteboard. Good thing I cleared 50 gigs in order to be able to talk to you guys. So I'm gonna try to wipe this one more again. And hopefully the thick marker will work for us. All right. I'm leaving all this in there, by the way. So we got 4 components here. We got starter, we got light, we got pro, we got elite, right? Now, in each one of these, we have 4 base pieces of equipment that you can actually customize to what you like. Each one of these has 3 or 4 options, right? Each one of them has 3 or 4 options, and this one has about 8 options. Now, what happens is that's for each one. So we got to duplicate this 3 times. This elite line is totally custom. So that's a completely different buyer process. So you can come in, you can pick starter, you can pick what equipment you want. You can come in and pick light, you can pick which equipment you want. Pro, you can come in and pick which equipment you want. So the buyer process is custom. Now, what happens when the secretary comes in, or the assistant. What she does is she says, this person picked this from one of these, whichever one it is, and she'll give you information, the name of it, information. She said, oh, he picked this. She'll give you the name, and then she'll give you the information. Oh, you picked this, name, information. Oh, you picked these 3 things, information, right? So what this actually does in our case is she had to do this 120 plus times, okay? Meaning this is time that is wasted because everybody has the option to pick a bunch of different equipment, meaning she has to go to the database, pull the name and subcategory, or the name and description, put it in the email, paste it, send it over, tally up all of this stuff. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to automate this process by generalizing the information that they get based on the levels that they pick. So you come in, you get a light set. Hey, the light set is built for this. This is what's going to happen. So over here, we're going to automate this process of saying, thank you, right? You'll receive a quote in 24 to 48 hours with the summary based on level. So this is going to be a level summary, right? Then we're going to follow that email up. And this may be a little different than what you guys actually saw from the first board when I started erasing, because I'm doing it different and giving you guys a generic scenario. I got to go in and I got to write all of this stuff out for whatever it is that they doing. And here's what to expect. So you're going to receive a quote in 24 to 48 hours. The first thing that we're going to do after that email is we're going to send financing information. We're going to wait. So this is immediately. So 0, this is going to be the next day. At the same time, the next day, this assistant, let me not even write assistant. She is going to be preparing a quote in the official invoicing software. One of the things about software is you never actually, it's rare that you find a company that totally runs on one software. So you got your front end software and then you got your back end software. Your back end software is invoicing. It could be QuickBooks. It could be Xero, whatever. Your front end software is whatever your website is. In our case, we build websites on Funnel Control because it's an easy system for people to be able to use and not have to rely on some tech. You got other options like Go High Level. You got Shopify. If you're running a true e-commerce brand, then you want to go with Shopify. You got Wix, you got all of them. To me, Funnel Control is the easiest to use. My degrees in computer science. The reason we have Funnel Control is because single owner operators like you guys or small operated businesses, everything's built in. You can do it. Most of everything you want to do inside of there, but you still may need something that's industry specific depending on what you're doing. Okay. So she's going to prepare a quote in the official time. And about the time that she prepares that quote, they should already see that financing is available and whatever the process is to get financing will be in that. So now we've eliminated her having to do all of this stuff. All she has to do is see the information and put together an official quote for that person. Next, we're going to do a testimonial at that level, which is going to say, here's what people are doing with the equipment that you selected. And here's, something positive. And then the next thing we're going to do is some type of product education to let them know that we're here to help them, get their business off the ground and growing. What we just did was we eliminated. She's still going to have to put quotes in, and we may be able to even take this and turn it into an official quote. Actually, our process is a quote because it'll turn when we get our form that you fill out to build your custom setup. What'll happen is it'll already, each piece of equipment is already tied to a price. So she won't have to do any math. She just have to select what equipment they selected based on the products and then get them over official quote. That a quote or invoice could actually just be paid out if they're ready to just pay it out in cash. At the high end, this right here is somewhere between 15 and 20,000. This right here is somewhere between 4 and 8,000. And this right here is under 2,000. Right? And so you can pretty much hit any price range depending on what the product is. And let me just put 25K. Ooh, I put 20 and then 5 plus. Right? So you can pretty much hit any price range. However, so when we flip this over, remember we started here, which is pretty much our most expensive stock product line. What we're actually able to do now is we'll start to see immediate transactions. We do have a shopping cart experience where you can add different pieces of equipment to your cart and you can check out as well. But this is giving that user, that buyer, a custom experience of purchasing the equipment, and it's built to what they want. They can select a non-stock color. They can do all of the stuff that they want to do in this customization process. We've chosen based on me seeing what she was actually doing now, because I had some leeway in the other stuff that we were doing, to look at her process and say, you shouldn't be doing that. We're still going to have to put quotes in, but let's automate this process based on the levels. Let's generalize the information, give them an overview automatically based on what they select. So we're going to have 1, 2, 3 somewhat identical automations that are going to be used. We're going to obviously use AI to copyright what we're going to do to kind of formalize those things. And then we'll have a separate one for the elite buying process, which is where things are going to get custom overall. Look, if you want to build a website and you want to try out Funnel Control, go to funnelcontrol.com. It's a free trial. You get a couple days to go in there and fill it out. I will have testimonies. I will be putting together tutorials. If you want help and you want those to come faster, just let me know down in the comments below. But this is how we look at a process, look at something that's repetitive, and we decide to pull it out. There's a lot you can do with AI. And for most of us out here, it is overkill for where we are and what we're doing in business. But you want to be aware of where you can take it and where you can go. I will be bringing more about what I'm doing. Obviously, YouTube University is a ton of stuff out here. But I want to make sure that what I'm doing is conducive to where a company is or business is or person is. And we're using a lot of AI writing to take our ideas, not just write it for us. Hear what we're saying, learn about our company. Let me tell you everything. Now let's put some things together. Let's tweak it. Let's go back and forth. We're using a lot of AI for that. And then we're using automation for stuff like this so that we can simplify that process in order to get to where we want to be. And yeah, so I missed the video yesterday, so I'm gonna give you guys another video today. I had a meeting yesterday. We got a birthday party, a sleepover going on, and they about to have brunch and stuff. So I wasn't able to really get a lot of stuff in, get the video in that I wanted to get in. It was pouring down raining for me to come out here. As you've seen, the board wasn't quite cooperating. But I had a meeting in the earlier morning, maybe 9 o'clock after I left the warehouse, and we were sitting discussing numbers and next steps and things. And one of the biggest things that I hope you guys out there is you got to get all this stuff out your head. You get a Google Doc. That can be a Word Google Doc that you keep all of your information in, how you going to write every page, how you going to put all your information, keep it all in that one place. That's your Bible. I used to have physical versions, and I could probably go in the garage right here and grab one of the physical versions of the Bible that I like to use, where all of the ideas and things are are categorized in these books. And then get yourself a sheet, a Google Sheet, and put all your data, all your pricing, all your information into it. I'm gonna talk more about that in the next video. If you got any questions about this, let me know. But this is a real use case of automation. And this company is $500,000 company. And so I wanted to give you guys this information today, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Remember, everybody needs a stand. Peace.